Hey, great decisions last night for some of you that joined an incredible family of God. Welcome into the family. For those of you that that's good stuff. For those of you that have made a decision to get closer to Jesus now and be more in tune with Him, maybe ready to go down back to your cities, your towns, and really shine the light for Him. Amen for you. That's why we're here. That's why we're here on purpose by God, to get ourselves more ready to be not ashamed of the gospel and have it actually show in our lives, that other people might look at you and say, hey, there's something, I don't know where you went for a week. Hey, dude, I don't know where you went for a week, but there's something different about you. There's something different. I don't know what it is. And so we've talked about being not ashamed. We're doing a little review here. We've talked about understanding the Bible, the importance of understanding the Bible and not being ashamed of the Bible. We've talked about the importance of the gospel and knowing the gospel. Why are you a Christian? If somebody was to ask you, why are you a Christian? Would you have the answers for them? Would you know what to say and what to do? We talked about choosing Him, which we did that yesterday. And I want to finish up today by saying that you need to be not ashamed of sharing the gospel. This is not a private club. Christianity is a public offering, and we need to be ready at a moment's notice to be ready to share the gospel and introduce people to Jesus wherever we are. And it'll be the boldest thing you probably ever do in your life, is to stand in front of a friend and say, I think you need Jesus in your life, and I'm here to introduce you to Him. And once you meet Him and know how much He loves you, you're going to be glad I introduced you to Him. But that takes some serious boldness and some serious effort. If you have a Bible, turn to Matthew 5. I'm giving you a freebie here, Matthew 5. Throwing out an easy cheesy here, Matthew 5. And put that bookmark, ribbon, arm, leg, lanyard, whatever you got, best friend, crutch. Put it in there and hold Matthew 5 till we're ready to turn there. So important to have your faith be something that goes out to other people. If you keep your faith inside, it's good for you, but nobody else. Matthew 5. Matt 5. And hold it. New Testament, first book, about 5 chapters in, somewhere around 5 chapters in, Matthew 5. I'll be doing a seminar later on how to lisp when you talk. Show up, it'd be a great time. Choose the band over me. Yes, good call. I was introduced to Jesus as a kid at Christmas. How many people like Christmas? Kind of an okay holiday. Kind of the greatest holiday ever. And when I was a kid, Santa was king. Santa ruled. I don't know how he got to every house. I don't know how he got down chimneys. I don't know how he got to houses that didn't have chimneys. I didn't care. He showed up and the gifts showed up and Santa was awesome. He's still awesome. I couldn't believe it. Oh, Santa, Santa, Santa. It's great stuff. I couldn't wait. How many people are so excited on Christmas Eve, you can't even go to sleep that night? You're like, I can't even go to sleep. I'm so excited. Yeah, I know. Isn't that great? And my dad had these rules. All right, kids, here's the rules for Christmas. Nobody can go downstairs to see what Santa brought before 5 a.m., or Santa will come back and take all your presents away and you won't have Christmas. That's the rules. Okay. And so my brother and I would go to bed about 9 o'clock. We got to sleep till 5, and we can't sleep. We're sitting there trying to fall asleep. Steve, what time is it? 9:05. No, we got to get to sleep. What time is it now? 9:10. I'm staring out the window at the blinking Christmas lights, hoping they'll hypnotize me or something, because I can't get to sleep. I'm so excited. 3 o'clock in the morning, in the dark, I hear my brother go, are you still awake? Yes. He goes, I got to go down and see what we got for Christmas. I go, no, it's not 5 o'clock yet. We can't go down there. Santa will come we get caught, Santa will come take our presents away. He goes, we won't get caught, follow me. And he's my older brother, so sometimes we just follow older brothers. I'm like, okay, let's go, We walk over, we get to the door. Now here's the setup at our house. Our room was here, my dad's room was here, and the stairs to go down are right here. My dad slept every night of the year with his door closed, except for one night of the year, Christmas Eve. But we knew he was asleep because he snored like a bear with a cold. My brother says, come on. I'm like, okay. We open up our door and we can hear. My brother looks at me and goes, the bear's asleep, the bear's asleep. Let's go. So in the dark, I'm following my brother. We go out and we start down the stairs. He gets to like the 4th or 5th step, and all of a sudden it's got a squeak in it. It goes, ear. And all of a sudden we hear, hey, if there's anybody on those stairs, you better get back in the room. Santa's gonna come take all your presents away and you won't have Christmas. Ah! We run back in the room. Ah! Oh, God, I'll never do that again. Next Christmas, can't sleep. 3 o'clock in the morning. My brother says, are you still awake? Yes. He goes, we got to go down and see what Santa brought. No, we almost got caught last year. We can't do that. No, we got to stay here. He goes, I got it figured out. Follow me. Okay. You see what my brother did that day was he went and he found the squeaky step, and he got this little white tape, and he made this little X on the corner of the squeaky step so he'd know which one it was. He says, follow me. I got it figured out. I'm like, okay. We open the door. We can hear, the bear's asleep. The bear's asleep. We head for the stairs. My brother's going slower. I'm right behind him. He's waiting for his eyes to adjust a little bit, and then he catches a glimpse of the little white square. So he steps over that step, no squeak, and starts down. He goes, do what I did. I go, okay. So I step over that step, and I'm not quite as coordinated as him. So when I step over the step, I trip, and I fall into him and land on his back, and we tumble down the stairs together. Blah, 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 blah. We land in the entryway. My brother goes, listen, listen. The bear didn't wake up. We're like, yeah, we made it. So we're crawling in the living room in pitch darkness, trying to figure out, and we knew when Santa had come, because at our house, there'd be a big present for you, and you knew it was your present because your stocking would be leaning against your big present. And I know my name's Keith. I know my stocking's got a big K on it. My brother Steve, he's got a big S on it. So I'm crawling around in the dark trying to find something that might have a big K. So I finally find this stocking and I look up at it and I wait and just I think that, yes, it's got a big K on it. I'm like, yeah, I wonder what I got. And I look at my present and I go, Steve, Santa really blew it this year. I got some Susie Homemaker oven, pink oven with flowers on it. My brother goes, do you think you got it bad? I got a Barbie van and a Barbie swimming pool. We're like, oh my goodness. We went back upstairs. This is the worst Christmas ever. We come down in the morning. We're not even excited about Christmas. This is horrible. You know what we forgot? We had 2 sisters. One named Christy with a big K, and one named Shelley with a big S. We had stumbled around in the dark and found our sister's presents instead of our own. And why? Because we couldn't see Christmas, could we? I mean, it was all around us. I know the tree was there somewhere. There were presents, but we couldn't see it because we were stumbling around in the dark. You see, at one point, Christmas got weird because I was all into Santa, and my mom brought out this little baby in a basket. I go, hey, what's with the baby in the basket? That's a manger. Oh, okay. What's with the baby in the manger? What's going on here? And she says, he's the reason for the season. Oh, it's so pretty, single tear. He's the reason for the season. I go, does he bring the presents? Does he do the ho, ho, ho? All right, Santa, Santa. And I love Christmas because all of a sudden, my dad would bring a tree in the house. If I brought a tree in the house, I'm in trouble. But Dad, what are you doing, Dad? I'm bringing a tree in the house. And it's the most amazing tree I've ever seen because you put it up and throw some decorations on it. It's got nothing under it one morning. You come out the next morning and like a chicken laying eggs, there's a bunch of presents under it. I'm like, this is the greatest tree ever. You come out the next day, there's even more. And some of them have my name on it. I'm like, oh, I hope that was mine. And that big one in the back, you know, that one that doesn't even fit under the tree, that big one, you go, oh, please have my name on you, big present. Why? I don't know, I just want the big present. It's bed sheets. I don't care, I just want the big present to have my name on it. It's great. And that's where I got introduced to Jesus and how once I found out he didn't stay a baby, did he? He grew up and he did the most amazing act of love that's ever been done on this planet for me. And once I realized that, I still love Santa, but all of a sudden, Jesus started working his way up the list. And I still like getting lots of presents and lots of gifts. But I, at one point, couldn't find a greater gift than Jesus coming to this earth and dying on a cross for me. And every Christmas after that, there were some great presents. But to this day, I have never received a gift bigger and better than Jesus coming down to this earth and dying for me. You see, that morning that we made that mistake, it was because we couldn't see Christmas. It was all around us, but we couldn't see it because we were stumbling around in the dark. And when you go home, you've got friends out there that have no idea of the gift of Jesus. They have no idea what he did for them. And they are stumbling around in the darkness. And Christmas can be all around them, but they don't see it because they're stumbling around in the darkness. They don't understand the reason for the season until somebody decides to come bring the light to them. Somebody needs to sit down and say, you know, Christmas isn't about Santa and presents. Christmas is about a man who started his life with his back on wood in a manger and then finished his life here with his back on wood on a cross. And when you realize he did that for you so you could live forever, and he did it for free so that you can live in eternity, you're not going to find a better gift ever the rest of your life than Jesus. The idea of being not ashamed to share the gospel, not afraid to go down there and be the light. That's what this faith is all about. You've got some friends that are stumbling around in the darkness, and they're going to keep stumbling around in the darkness until somebody shares the light of Jesus with them. And it might just be God on purpose asking you this week to shine that light. If you look at Romans 5, you'll hear a voice call out from the back of the room. If you look at or Matthew 5, Matthew 5, Sermon on the Mount. Sermon on the Mount. I like saying that because a little spray goes out. Sermon on the Mount. I try never to read from Thessalonians for the sake of the people in the first two rows. In Thessalonians 6, I've had people on the ground drowning. It's just horrible. Matthew 5, Sermon on the Mount. You're going to hear that, kids. You're going to be in church and somebody's going to go, Sermon on the Mount. You're going to go, what? Sermon on the Mount. Okay. And if you have a red letter Bible, the one that where Jesus is talking and it's in red, you're going to see about 6 pages of red writing, because Sermon on the Mount is when Jesus went up on a hill and decided to let the entire people group there know why he was there and how they should live. So anytime somebody looks at you and says, we're going to read from the Sermon on the Mount, that is basically a time when Jesus is going to be on a hill and you're going to be in his presence, and he's going to tell you how to live your life as a Christian. Huge 3 chapters, Matthew 5, 6, and 7, Sermon on the Mount. Take some time to read that on your own sometime. And if you look at verse 14, Jesus would like to say this to you. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise you? No, and praise your Father in heaven. Do you get that? God wants you to go out there and let your light shine. Let the light of Jesus shine in you so that others see the great things you're doing, and the first thing they want to do is know about this God and learn to love this God. If you're not out there shining the light, nobody's getting the light, nobody's seeing the good, nobody's seeing how great God is. So in this room right now, you've got to decide, how much am I going to shine for God when I go down this hill? It's really easy to do it here amongst a bunch of believers, but when I've got to sit there in the darkness with friends who have no idea who he is, can I still shine the light bright enough that people would see good works in me, the kindness and the love I'm going to show because of Jesus? And will they want to know who Jesus is? Because of the light in me. If you leave here and you don't shine the light, if you leave here and be the same person you were, if you've had kind of a little dim faith, or the light's been going out and maybe you got recharged here to be the light for him again, you've got to go out there and shine it in people's faces, because they're walking around in darkness not seeing why they should be here and who God is. And it's so important that you be unashamed to share this gospel, and not for your own glory. We don't do these great things for our own glory. We do it for the glory of God. I can remember coming home from speaking up in a certain area, like between here and where my house is. And they had a hotel room for me and everything for me to stay there the night after I spoke. But if I'm in any kind of shot of getting home, I'll drive home at night instead of stay over. I want to be in my own bed with my own family, so I'll drive late at night. The only problem is when I drive, sometimes late at night, I get tired and I head bob. I don't know if you ever saw your parents do this, but you're driving along and all of a sudden you see somebody go, oh, yeah, oh yeah, I'm good. And you're in the back seat going, oh my gosh, Dad, stay awake, Dad. My life's on the line. Come on. Well, I head bob when I get tired. So back then, this was years ago, I used to carry this little thing. They didn't have Red Bulls and Monster Drink, all this stuff. They had these little pills called No-Dose. Adults in the room, No-Dose, yeah. Little caffeine pill, safe as coffee. A lot of caffeine, safe as coffee. Then they do a study on coffee, and I'm gonna die no matter what. But I had to carry these things with me to keep me awake. And so I decide I'm gonna drive home from this camp. I'm coming through Los Angeles at about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch black, and I start head bobbing really bad. And I've had times when I head bobbed, I was in the fast lane, I woke up, I'm in the slow lane, I don't even know how I got there. It was like time travel, it's really cool. One time I woke up, I was on the center divider about to hit a tree. That was not cool. That's why I carried the No-Dose. So I'm head bobbing really bad, so I figure I gotta take a No-Dose. I got one left in my little thing, so I get out my one No-Dose, and I grab my drink, and it's empty. And I'm one of those guys that can't take a pill without a drink. You know, you throw it in your mouth. Yeah. Try that big throw. I can do that. So I pull off the freeway. I got to find something. All the stores are closed, but I see a gas station, and I'm thinking sometimes they have drinking fountains attached to them. So I drive around this gas station in the dark, and I see this drinking fountain. So I get out of my car, grab my one No-Dose, go over to this drinking fountain. When I get there, by looking at this drinking fountain, it looks like a science project gone wrong. It hasn't been used since the 60s. It's nasty. I don't know what to do. I look over and I see this machine, and it says air or water. Air or water. And if I got a quarter, I can have air or water. Well, I've got a quarter, so I get a quarter, take my No-Dose, go over to the machine, stick the quarter in, and it starts going, I'm like, yeah, it works. So I switch it off of air to water, because you don't want the air. We've been to the dentist. No, we don't want that. Switch it to water. I take the handle thing down, and I give it a little test. It's so powerful, it throws my hand back. The water comes shooting out. I'm like, whoa. Shoots like 40 feet. This is awesome. I'm thinking about all you kids with your little Super Soaker 1 million. I want you right now. Writing my name on the wall. And in all the excitement, I dropped my only No-Dose. And something was wrong, because it didn't bounce on the ground. It just kind of went. Because of all the places in the world that might have oil spills, gas stations are way up on the list. And so I reach down and pick it up and realize that something's wrong because it's half white like it's supposed to be and half this gooey brown color. And I'm thinking to myself, I gotta get home. This is my safe way to get home. I don't know what to do. I got Mr. Cannon here and I got this. So in the darkness, all at once, I throw the thing in my mouth and I fire the water. I'll tell you, to this day, I have no idea if I even took the no-dose. I have no idea, but I made it home okay. Here's what I didn't know. All the time I was driving home, I was congratulating myself because I had nailed my talk. I was driving, Keith, money. Keith, you nailed it. Keith, they're going to have to build a whole other wing in heaven because of your talk. They are going to, maybe they'll name it the Keith Wing because that was so inspiring. So many people chose Jesus because of you, Keith, and your incredible talk. And I was just having a real Keith moment. I was giving all the glory for everything I had done to Keith, driving home. And here's what I didn't know. In the darkness, after I had done this craziness and I'm dripping with wet, I hear this from 20 feet away from me. What I didn't know, 20 feet away from me, sitting on a wall in the darkness, was a homeless guy that just watched me make a complete fool out of myself. And I'm giving him, a homeless guy who doesn't have a lot to laugh about, the best chuckle he's probably had in a long time at my idiocy of being a stupidness fool. And he's just, he can't even contain himself. And I crawl back to my car, and I get in and shut the door, completely humiliated. And I look up at God and go, okay, God, I get it. I understand. I just gave a talk about you being the name above all names and you getting the glory and letting my light shine and letting our light shine so that you look good. And I just tried to give me the whole glory going home. And you gave me that little God smack and reminded me what it's all about. You might do some great things when you're down this mountain. But if you give the glory for all those great things you do down the mountain and God doesn't get the glory, you have wasted a great moment. When you hit that home run, you know what I hate? Here's what I hate. Guys, look at me. Every guy, every boy, look at me. Here's what I hate when I watch sports. I know I'm not supposed to hate, but I'm not hating a person. I hate this action. A guy hits a home run. A guy catches a touchdown. And he looks up at the camera and he does this. I hate that. That is some guy saying, it's all about me. I did this. I'm the best. I'm number one. I made me who I am today. When I see this, even if it's one of my favorite players and he does something incredible for a team I like, if he scores a winning touchdown or hits a winning home run, if I see him do this, I'm done. Because it's not about us, according to this scripture. And if you make it about you and you take the glory for you, you have wasted a great God moment. Wouldn't it be great to hit the winning home run, have the whole team mugging you and say, way to go, and you say, way to go, God. God, I just want to thank you for just that little bit of ability you gave me to be able to hit a round thing with a piece of wood. To be able to stick my hands in the air and have a piece of leather fall into it and not fall out. That's all you're doing. I kick the round thing, it goes past the slower guy and catches the net. Yay for me? No. Thank you, God, for putting me in a position to make you look good. Thank you, God, for putting me on a team and in a position to make you look good. I hope that when we're done here with this team I'm playing on, or this event I'm a part of, or this play that I'm in, or this whatever, that people would look at the way I did it. Maybe I did it well. They would want to come up to me and say, way to go. And I would point past me and say, way to go, God. I want to shine your light and share you, because if you shine that light according to this scripture, people will see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. It takes a boldness. It takes a new kind of boldness. And you got to work on it and let it grow. I was not a upfront person as a kid. You may not believe this. I did not want to be in front of people. I hated it. I used to be over here. I was this guy. I'm right here. I'm good right here. My brother, he could talk to people, do anything. You go, Steve, you be that up front. I'm going to be right over here doing nothing. Keith, you want to get involved? No. I'm going to be right here. What are you going to be doing? I'm going to be doing nothing right here. I'll be right here doing nothing, like I do nothing, like nobody else does nothing. I'm doing nothing. And God had other plans for me, and I didn't know that. But all of a sudden, when I'm like 3 years old, we move into this housing tract, and this family moves in across the street from us, and they have a kid in their family, a boy that's my age. And we meet each other actually in the bowling alley nursery, and that's where we learn to punch each other and throw things at each other's head and really become good friends. Girls, I don't know how you do it, but that's how we do. Guys do. Great punch, let's be friends. Yeah, okay, that's how we do it. So Tim and I became good friends at 4. Then they built a school in our housing tract. And so Tim and I ended up going kindergarten together, first grade together, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade. Then we went to high school together, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. Then we went to junior college together for a couple years. And when I got out of junior college, he started a business and I went to work for him. We were pretty close. We did everything together. We would plan the entire summer. I lived at the beach. We planned the whole summer, 2 weeks before school. We had every day planned to be together. If our family went on a vacation, that person went with that family. Can you imagine the conversations we had? We had clubs. We had science clubs and spy clubs and clubs to make clubs, and we had everything going on. People thought if you saw one of us and didn't see the other one, he might be dead, because we were always seen together. And we had everything in common except for one thing: sports. When it came to sports, I was okay at the land sports, the basketball, the baseball, those kind of sports. But where Tim excelled was when you put him in water. Tim was amazing in water. Tim, as a kid, could swim faster, dive from higher, and stay under the water longer than any kid we knew. We actually nicknamed him Timmer the Swimmer. You ever go down to the bottom of a pool and see how many laps you can do holding your breath under the water? You can do like 2 maybe or whatever. He'd be like on lap 5, and he's still down there. I'm like, I think he drowned. I think he drowned. Oh no, he's moving. Hey, Tim, we were going to get lunch. Oh, okay, send it down to me. A guy could eat a tuna sandwich at the bottom of, just amazing. And his whole life, he was trying to get me to do things I didn't want to do. Keith, you got to try this. Keith, come do this. You can do this, Keith. And I'm like, no, I'm right over here. That's me, right? I'm here doing nothing. Keith, come on, try this. I got some stuff. You're going to like it. It's going to be fun. No, I'm good right here. And then every once in a while, he'd get me to venture into something. Venture in. We'd get out of school about 45 minutes before the other kids, and my dad had built an above-ground pool in our backyard, so it was off to the pool to do pool games that 2 guys can do. And the first one we did was called Whirlpool. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but you run around the edge of the round pool, and if you run hard enough and fast enough, the water starts to join you. Grab a beach ball if that helps, whatever it takes. And all of a sudden, Tim and I would get this pool going into these huge whirlpools. Sometimes they were so big, the water was like 2 feet higher than the edge of the pool, and you could see a dry spot, just some real... All right, I was 10. But we got some good ones going. And we do the Olympic record for a beach ball to go around the pool. 13, 14, yes! And then we do our own, the big step thing, where you take a step, wah, half the pool, wah, or Superman along the edge. It's great stuff. Gets a little boring. Tim goes, okay, come to the middle of the pool. Why? Just come to the middle of the pool. All right, you're Timmer the Swimmer. I'm standing in the middle pool, he's standing right here. Start jumping. What? He says, just start jumping. Feel like a dork. Okay, I start jumping. I don't know how he knew it, but as we started to jump, the water in the pool started to join us. And we started going higher and higher. Water splashing over I don't know, Dad, it must have rained. Higher, higher, look out for the electrical wires. We're way up there. Oh, there's that dog that gets all my tennis ball over there. Yeah, there's going this big one. This is great. I don't know how he knew it, but I'm actually doing this. He goes, hey, get it going good. I got an idea. So we get this thing going, and then all of a sudden he jumps out of my pool, runs around the side of my house, climbs up on my roof, comes down to the edge of the roof, and he's cliff diving at Acapulco. He's going to dive into this cylinder when it's at its peak. I go, Tim, what are you doing? He goes, I'm doing this. And all of a sudden, he just jumps off my roof. And he hits the cylinder right at the top, and he goes down through the cylinder. I think he even looked at me and went, and just kept going. And then he did that turn at the bottom, raise your chin so you don't hit the bottom. And he comes up, and I'm like, oh, my goodness. You are Tim the swimmer. He goes, okay, Keith. Your turn. No. You, Timmer swimmer, me land, no. And he goes, what are you, chicken? No, but I'm dumb. Next thing you know, we get this big one going, and somehow I get out of the pool, climb up the roof, skin my knee getting on the roof, come over the edge, I'm walking down. Do you know how much higher it looks when you're on the roof looking down at this thing? I'm like, Tim, I'm not doing this. He said, you can do this. I am not doing this. Come on, Keith, you can do this. I believe in you. Just make sure you time it right, because you don't want to miss the cylinder. What was that? You don't want to, trust me, you don't want to miss the cylinder. Time it. You can do this. And I'm sitting there thinking, I used to be over there doing nothing. Now I'm standing on the edge of the roof, contemplating diving into a cylinder of water that's moving. Because my friend Tim, my supposed friend Tim, has told me I can do this. He goes, go now, Keith, it's big, go now. And all of a sudden I go, okay, 1001, 1002, and the thing comes up, and I actually jump for it. And I'm right there, but then all of a sudden the cylinder starts to go away. I'm like, no! Boom, I hit the bottom of the pool. I swallow a bunch of water, I'm gagging down there. Tim grabs me around the waist, throws me up on the edge of the pool, and goes, now wasn't that great? I'm like, no, that wasn't great. How did he get me to do that? I couldn't believe it. A week later, my city is on the news. Isn't it cool? You're watching the news and all of a sudden, hey, that's my city on the news. That's kind of close to my house. This is my city. The reason my city was on the news is I live by the beach, and we had this big pier. If you don't know what a pier is, the thing you walk out on, big giant pier. And the waves that came into my beach are determined a lot by storms that happen in Mexico. And a storm is hitting Mexico so big that the waves that were coming in weren't the 5-foot waves that were like, cool, these would be cool. They weren't the 8-foot waves like, oh, these are kind of big waves. They weren't the 10-foot waves, what are we doing here? These were 15 and 20-foot high waves. I don't know how high that is, but 20 feet high. The waves were so big, they were hitting against this pier and sending white water 50 feet in the air onto the pier. They had to close the pier because waves were sending water on the pier. If you've ever been to the Huntington Beach Pier, I want you to picture waves sending water onto that pier, and they were hitting so hard, they were afraid it might break off the end of the pier, so they had closed it. I'm watching this, and my phone rings, and it's Tim. He's like, you watching the news? Yeah. You seeing those waves? Uh-huh. He goes, we got to go check out those waves. I go, yeah, I want to go see them too. So I ran and grabbed my camera. I want to get the picture that's going to go in the magazine of these waves, right? And so we get on our bikes. We live about a mile away. We start riding. We get about halfway there. We're at a stoplight waiting for the light to turn green. I look down at Tim's bike, and for the first time I notice on his handlebars, he's got 2 sets of swim fins. And I'm like, now what's he doing with swim fins if we're going to go look at the waves? I don't care. We keep riding. We get a block away. We haven't seen anything yet because there's a couple buildings in the way, but all of a sudden we feel this. Boom. Boom. The waves are hitting so hard against the pier and slamming so hard down on the beach that it's shaking the ground a block away from the beach. We come around the corner just in time to see this big, massive wall of water slam into the pier, and I watch white water go 50 feet into the air up onto the pier, and I'm just like, yes, click, click. I'm moving in, this is going in a magazine, click, click. People are running by me scared. I don't care, I gotta get the shot. Click, click. All of a sudden I feel this bump on my arm. It's Tim. He goes, you know what we gotta do? I'm like, take another picture? No. He goes, we gotta body surf one of these waves. I'm like, are you kidding me? Were you put on this earth to kill me? Is that why you're here? I am not going out there. Keith, you can do that. I'm not going out there. Keith, what are you, chicken? No, but I'm still dumb. Next thing you know, I'm putting fins on, and I'm diving out under waves. You know those waves that are so big, you try and dive under them, they push you back? These waves are so big, I dive under one, and the wave kind of grabs me and goes, no, 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 little boy. This is for the big boys. You go play on the sand over there. I dive under another wave. No, 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 we had this talk. This is for the big boys. You go play on the sand over there. Takes me like an hour to get out where Tim is. I'm completely exhausted. He's been out there surveying the area. Hey, Keith, I found the perfect spot over here. I'm like, yeah, the spot to die. Let's go over there. We go over there, and he goes, okay, Keith, we've come this far. Next wave comes. We got to take it. And we're waiting there, and all of a sudden I see this rumble. And I see this motion out there. And all of a sudden I see this wave that used to, when I play in waves, they stop here, but this one just kept going. And it kept going up. And then it got closer. And so Tim and I turned, and I looked down at the bottom of this wave. And you know what happened? You'll find out tonight.